For this next part, we're going to be talking about nth roots. And this just says for any real numbers a and b and any positive integer n, again, has to be positive. If a sub a to the n equals b, then a is the nth root of b. Okay? What this is saying is a little complicated when you look at it this way, but it becomes much more simple if we look here. Because 2 raised to the 4th power is 16, 2 is a 4th root of 16. So for example, if I take the 4th root of 16, it equals 2. This is something you probably already know because you know like the square root of 3 squared would just be 3. So now all this is saying, if I take anything raised to, like, for example, 3 raised to the 17th power, and I take it to the 17th root, it would still be 3. It's just kind of inverse operations, okay? And the way this actually works is because if we think about it, if we look at this one we already know, the square root of 3 is the same thing as 3 raised to the 1/2. And so if I do 3 raised to the 1/2 and then I square it, which is the same thing as if I would have the square root of 3 squared. 1/2 times 2, power to the power, we multiply them together, we just get 1. So we get 3 raised to the 1st power, which is just 3. So that's kind of how this rule works. Okay? But just understand, if you have the nth root of something raised to the n power, it's just going to be that number. So if we look here, nth root, so I've got the cubed root of 27. That doesn't look very obvious, but if you know that 27 equals 3 raised to the 3rd power, then you could rewrite this as the cubed root of 3 to the 3rd, and we know the cubed root of 3 to the 3rd has to just be 3, because the cubed root of anything raised to that power is just going to be the base. Same thing over here. It's not obvious just from looking at it, but 32 is 2 raised to the 5th power. So I've got the 5th root of 2 to the 5th. Since it's the 5th root of 2 to the 5th, you can kind of think of your exponents canceling out, and you're just left with the 2. However, as you'll see in a little bit, you can just type these into your calculator, which is what I'm more concerned with. But I do want you to see this trick in case you would see something like the 8th root of x to the 8th. You would know that would just be x. Okay? It's important to understand this concept, but when it's just numbers inside, we will just be able to use our calculators.